Chomsky's contribution was that he argued let the victims howl. In fact, give them the leaders of the protest movement from the inside circle who committed the crime. This is all easily described. Yesterday, I picked up this book at the hub. Notice it shows you the degree to which the Beatles were named by Hitler. Beetle was the name of the Volkswagen. Fallout has obvious connotations. And I figured, since one of my colleagues in Pittsburgh was bitten by a scorpion mysteriously, not indigenous to Pittsburgh, that there was a guy outside who went like this, SWAT, Now, a spider showed up. I tried to kill it. It's still around here somewhere. I wouldn't be surprised if I end up in the hospital with something from the labs of Pittsburgh's bad connection scene. But be that as it may, in the meantime, let's talk about the fact that those of us who are right-minded about climate and so on are on a race to make it possible for people to think clearly about what is going on. If you look at the Romeo and Juliet story that was told about the follow-up to John and Yoko, which Peter Gabriel knew what Jimmy Crary's pick would be Midori Goto, and she was already scuttled aside to the Obama-Jeffen plan of revenge for Japan, the Arc of Colors. You could convince Jimmy that she was crying in distress. It's like a story of Rashomon where there are different points of view. Like George Will was not always against Don Toon. He wasn't always playing the role of Republican Save the Republic and Nation of Laws guy that he is now. He used to talk about one man's psychodrama. What could you convince Jimmy Crary, who had jealous figments coming from Wattenmaker's refrigerator about who he was dating because these were agents brought in by the Society of Human Ecology to cuckold him out of wedlock, to put him in the blue cloak of the deceived boyfriend so that everybody could laugh when they pulled the gyroscope cord. Anna and the King came out with the help of Scorsese when Midori Goto announced her agency. Take me, Donald, take me. It's for my own safety from Jimmy Crary. And they had 119, the woman laughing, as the firefighters look up at the burning building. And they were like, rescue her, she needs to be rescued. They told two stories. This is a technocratic state. One of them was the idea that the future, and you can verify this by looking at my letters to the deaf school in New York, saying that Midori was in distress, and the fact that I sent her the manuscript. She was cackling behind the scenes with Obama, I now know. But you can tell that from the Telltale clip. But they had the people who did it, like Diamond Gullis masquerading as the protesters. And this is why Seattle's Caligula Foundation, which is what Seattle is, a Caligula Foundation, gets a whole head of steam when they're defeated in terms of argumentation. They're still at large and they still have power because of the Swami Nostra. The Operation Medicine Man, people hired by Hollywood to make them feel better, organized by Peter Gabriel and so on, make the victims feel like they're included in the arc. So the odd man out is the queer ball. He could have saved John Lennon, so no Midori, Romeo and Juliet for him. And in Anna and the King, they act out that she's taken as tribute to the power structure of Don Toon. Well, the Technocratic Alliance will produce, and people should get their minds around this, the future Technocratic Alliance will produce Romeo and Juliet stories where women, because anytime women are seen as commodities, that's going to happen. Doesn't matter who she loves and who loves her in return. Doesn't matter their commitment to each other since childhood. She belongs to the prince. And so that's the way it's going to go. And they're playing this. This is Paul McCartney's fetish. This all comes from Paul McCartney's. I'm gonna get revenge on James. I'm gonna get revenge on James. It's his fetish. He went after the neuroplasm and diagnosed it as a psychological profile. They profiled me and put it through a simultaneous gyration, one man's psychodrama. And they burned down the Jackson Labs, did 911, and then Pittsburgh creeps said, who were robbing me and who set this up were going, don't make it into some whole big thing.